So recently, Scotty Hartnell retired, and yeah, I won this in a bid on eBay. So, um, due to me winning this from Full Moon Jerseys, I was like, all right, well, once I get it, I can do this. Scotty Hartnell, one of the most entertaining players that I've ever seen play the game. In a game where we all talk about how cookie cutter players are, he wasn't. Drafted sixth overall in 2000 by the Nashville Predators. He ended up coming straight out of junior to the NHL in 2000 2001. Played 75 games, 2 goals and 14 assists for him that year. 2001 2002, he plays 75 games, 14 goals and 27 assists. And he was in the NHL Young Stars game that year. 2002 2003, 82 games, 12 goals, 12 assists, 34 points. The thing with Hartnell was the scoring wasn't where I think a lot of us had expected, but the 2000 and the 1999 drafts, I don't know, they were both strange in that they weren't very deep with the top end talent. Um, 2003 2004, he puts up 18 goals, but he only played 59 games, so he plays fewer games and puts up more goals than he had any other year. His points per game went up as well with 33. And coming out of the lockout, he's suddenly a 20 goal scorer. Still with Nashville, 81 games, 25 goals, 23 assists, 48 points. 2006 2007, he plays 64 games, 22 goals, 17 assists, 39 points for him that year. Then he ends up in Philly. Now, in Philly, he would really hit his stride. So in Nashville, useful player, 2 20 goal seasons. Then he goes to Philly, and he really turned it on in the second year after he got to Philly. The first year in Philly, 80 games played, 24 goals, 19 assists, 43 points. 2008, 2009, 82 games, 30 goals, 30 assists, 60 points. Now, in the midst of all this, he's still putting up a lot of penalty minutes as well. He's kind of known as a guy who takes a lot of minor penalties. And yet, he's still a very likable guy. He's not a player that you really naturally dislike. And I know there's people who didn't like him, but anyway. Pittsburgh fans. 81 games played in 09-10, 14 goals, 30 assists, 44 points. October 9th of 2009, there is a fracas that takes place during the game, after which Chris Letang claims that Scotty Hartnell bit him. Replays are inconclusive, according to the NHL, and they don't know necessarily that took place. 2010 2011, he plays 82 games, 24 goals, 25 assists, 49 points. 2011 2012, 82 games, 37 goals, 30 assists, 67 points. Played the All Star game that year. He ended up on a line with the Sedins, and they had him mic'd up, and he looked good with the Sedins. It was funny because I remember remarking during the game, and I've said it in videos since, that it kind of showed me how it would work with the Sedins if they had a really talented winger that can put the puck in the net, and not to decry all of the guys they had before that or anything, but I saw something special with Hartnell, and from that day forward, I was like, man, if the Canucks could ever get him, never happened. But during that game, of course, he talked a lot about how any goals he was scoring was because of the Sedins. He talked about how great they were, how fantastic it was to play with them, how much fun that was. And it was also on that All-Star weekend that he blew around Dion Phaneuf and with an open mic said, "Suck it, Phaneuf," which I thought was the funniest thing I'd heard. And to this day, when somebody goes around Dion Phaneuf, that's what I say while I watch the game. 2012 2013, he only played 32 games, 8 goals, 3 assists, 11 points. So disappointing totals by his standard. 2013 2014, 78 games played, 20 goals, 32 assists, 52 points. 2014 2015, 78 games, 28 goals, 32 assists, 60 points. 2015 2016, 79 games played, 23 goals, 26 assists, 49 points. 2016 2017, 78 games played, 13 goals, 24 assists, 37 points. And then for his final year, he returned to Nashville. Played 62 games last year, 13 goals, 11 assists, 24 points. 1,249 games played, 327 goals, 380 assists, and due to the 24 points his last year, he did pass the 700 point mark for his career, 707 points, and not insignificant, he also got his 1,800th penalty minute. So he ends up with 1,809 penalty minutes. In the playoffs, he played 99 games in his career, 19 goals, 28 assists, 47 points. January 31st, 2008, he stole the glove off of New York Rangers forward Chris Drury. Just needed it, so he took his glove. December 2nd of 2008, he threw his glove at Tampa Bay player Ryan Malone to try to prevent a breakaway, and a penalty shot was awarded after that. I will give him points for creative thinking. After he retired, Jakub Voracek tweeted out, I'd like to, thank Scotty Hartnell for being a great teammate and for helping me learn how to skate. There were numerous remarks like this that were funny after his retirement. There was a comment as well about how, you were an average poker player, to which Hartnell replied with, or tweeted out, or retweeted it with, average, are you kidding? He won an NHL tournament in, I believe it was 2009, where he was the NHL champion at poker. So don't play cards with Scotty. He may have that big hair, which he did eventually cut off, and his hair was part of the headline with him because he had big old hair, and eventually he would cut that off for charity. But yeah, his hair was half of the appeal of him at the time, and just the fact that he was always cracking jokes, and you could tell he was very popular with his teammates. There's something called a heart trick. If a guy has a goal, a fight, and falls down in the same game, that's a Scotty Hartnell version of a hat trick, a heart trick. And also, there was a Pens fan that was taunting him that had a big orange afro-haired do going, and like a wig. And he had a jersey that said Scott Fart Smell on the back. So, seeing it and talking to the fan and being okay with it, and he didn't take himself too seriously, he signed the jersey for that fan, to my biggest fan, your bud, Scott Fart Smell. So he was completely self-deprecating in his humor. I always thought he was a great guy. I know he wasn't always the most popular. I know there were, towards the end of his career, there were fans that said he's too slow, get him off the ice, he's useless. I know that he had contracts that may have seemed like they were a little bit much in their value, but you know what? He earned his money, and he played a ton of hockey, and I wish him nothing but the best in retirement. And there's a reason that I got a Hartnell jersey when I was able to jump on it, and that this replaces the Columbus Johansson jersey I had with Columbus in Reebok. So that the Johansson one for me moves out, because Hartnell, when you're wearing a jersey of a player, it should be a guy who goes, hey, you like him? Yes, I do. And it's not that I don't like Johansson. It's just that between the two, I would go with Hartnell. And if it's going to be the exact same jersey minus the shoulder patches are different and the name on the back, then I could just get rid of the other one. Anyways, there you go. The career of Scotty Hartnell, the newest addition to the THG Hall of Fame. He's never going to make the NHL Hall of Fame, but for all of these reasons, he belongs in mine with a guy like Tiger Williams. One of the most entertaining guys on and off the ice, and somebody that I think would be absolutely fascinating to sit and talk hockey with, or just talk anything with. He just seems like a great guy to just sit and talk to, and I think he'd be very entertaining. So there you go. Scotty Hartnell, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.